Ready? Oh shit. There we go. Yeah! There we go. Okay. Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host JC, and today we get to take the mystery out of the Stoeger ATAC, and this one is in .22 caliber. But before we get started here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. Won't cost you anything, it's absolutely free, but I really appreciate it because it really helps out the channel. Anyway, also check out the website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site we got hats, t-shirts, Generation 2 bipods, which are right here on this Stoeger, right here. We also have Gammo trigger kits. If you have a SAT or a CAT trigger on a Gammo rifle, we have the trigger kit for you, and it'll turn that trigger into a match-like trigger with that simple little inexpensive upgrade. Works great. Also, check out my website for some inventory that I'll be releasing here and there. And I've released quite a bit, but I usually only have one of whatever I put on there. And when it's gone, it's gone. So check that out. All right, let's get back to the subject on hand. This is the Stoeger ATAC. And exactly what is a Stoeger ATAC? Well, it's a break barrel, and it comes in both 177 and .22 caliber. It has a gas ram as opposed to a spring piston, so it's got a gas ram piston. This has a synthetic stock, solid synthetic stock. It really is solid. In fact, the gun weighs about 9 pounds, so if that tells you how solid this is, it really is. What we got here is on a scope rail. It comes standard with a Picatinny / Weaver type rail. So as opposed to 11mm, it's got the Picatinny already to go, which is really good on break barrels because it really stabilizes as far as your mount goes with the scope. This does have a 13-inch barrel. It's actually only to about there. And then you got a built-in suppressor the rest of the way. So the barrel, in my opinion, a little bit short, but it's nice to have the overall suppressor in there because it really does make it backyard friendly. Anyway, the gun is 43 inches overall, but again, this thing does weigh 9 pounds, so it's heavy. It came standard with the side Picatinny rails on here. It did come with a 2-stage trigger, but to be honest with you, it was pretty brutal. It's about 6 pounds, so I upgraded it to a GRT3 trigger. The original claim as far as velocity goes, they claimed in .22 caliber it could do 1,000 feet per second with alloy pellets and 800 feet per second with lead pellets. Well, let's go out and test it. You guys can be the judge yourself. And we'll go ahead and see what the performance is, and then we'll get together at the end of this and talk about it. So stay tuned for the next segment. All right, let's test the velocity on our Stoeger ATAC. We're going to use the most accurate pellets. These are the Barracuda greens. They're around a 13 grain pellet. So let's just shoot 5 shots over the crony. We'll average it out and go from there. Okay. Shot number 1. 835. Shot number 2. 843. Shot number 3. 846. Shot number 4. 847. And do one more. Shot number 5. 846. Pretty good standard deviation on that one. Wasn't too shabby. Yeah, so we'll show you these Barracuda greens in the accuracy test next. But anyway, there's your performance. There's your average feet per second and your foot-pounds of energy. So let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's test the accuracy on our ATAC here. We're going to go ahead and use the same pellets that we used in the chrono test. These are the Barracuda greens. These are around a 13 grain pellet, but they just seem to perform the best in this rifle. They really do. And we're going to be using some HD targets. You guys know now, I use the Splatterburst and the HD targets. They're both really good, and I'll leave you both links down below. So let's, we'll go ahead and shoot 5 shots. We'll see how well it groups. We're the usual 20 yards. This is our break barrel distance. Go ahead and check that out real quick. All right, so let's shoot 5 shots and see how well the rifle groups. Again, remember, they don't all go in the red. It doesn't matter. We just want to see how well the rifle groups. We're just testing the grouping on this. All right. Here we go. I love how shiny these alloy pellets are. All right. Shot number 1. Yeah, a little bit high. But remember, I said grouping. Let's see how tight a group we can shoot with these. Okay, shot number 2. That's not bad. Shot number 3. And shot number 4. And one more. Yeah, that's not a bad group. I'm gonna guess somewhere in that 1/2 inch range, right around there. Anyway, not a bad group though. So, anyway, that's your accuracy test. So let's move on to the next segment. Okay, let's test the pull weight on our Stoeger ATAC here. Now, I did upgrade this trigger. This is a GRT 3 trigger. So let's show you how it performs anyway. So we got a trusty Lyman trigger gauge here. Let's get this reset, and let's just see how we do. I don't know if I've ever tested this one. 12.4 ounces. Yeah, I have this thing set pretty light, but it's 12.4 ounces. Gotta like it. Anyway, yeah, these GRT 3 triggers are pretty awesome. They really are. Okay, let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's do a little plinking with our ATAC. Once again, we're going to use our Barracuda greens. These are roughly a 13 grain pellet, but they seem to perform the best in this rifle. Anyway, we're at our plinking range. We're about 40 yards out. Go ahead and check that out real quick, and you can see what we have up there. Got a little pellet can, ironically, a Barracuda green pellet can. We've got a shotgun shell in the end, large ram, a pipe, and a little egg. So let's see how we can knock those down here. I'm not promising anything because, like I said, this, 20 yards, it was shooting roughly about a 1/2 inch group. Spreads out a little bit at 40, so let's see. I'll just keep shooting until we get this stuff knocked down. All right, I'm gonna start with a shotgun shell. Wow, I'll take that. I'm impressed. Okay, let's get rid of that pellet can because it's nice and light. Whoa, I don't understand. We missed that. We hit a shotgun shell and then we missed a pellet can. That does not make sense. Let's try that again. Again, the pellet can. Okay, that's 2 misses in a row. So I said, this thing spreads out. You'll nail something and you'll come back and obviously have problems hitting it. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time and then I'm moving on. There we go. All right. I'm saving the big ram for last. Okay, how about the pipe? Pipe on the left. A miss again. Yeah, definitely, you saw how it spread out at that 20 yards, so we're probably just magnifying it at 40. All right, hold on. There we go. And let's get the little egg. Yeah, it's frustrating because I'm aiming, man, in the same spot every time. All right, little egg. Nope. I don't know if that turned that egg or not. Let's do it again. There we go. All right, now if we missed the ram on this, there's a real problem here. But like I said, let's see what happens. Ah, it did miss the ram. That is unbelievable. Yeah. All right. Again, the ram. There we go. And that one hit exactly where I was aiming. Yeah, so not bad. You gotta remember, inexpensive rifle. We'll talk about it here, wrap this thing up, but anyway, definitely not a HW98, that's for sure. Let's move on to the next segment and wrap this up. All right, let's wrap this up with our conclusion here. Well, like any review, I like to mention the negatives, so let's just get right into it. Yes, I was a little disappointed in the performance of this one. First off, the trigger. The trigger was brutal. It was really heavy. It was between probably 5-6 pounds roughly. So I had to update it. I had a couple of GRT3 triggers laying around, so I upgraded to that. And you saw the difference it made. When I did a trigger test, it was fantastic. These are great triggers. Also, what really disappointed me was the accuracy beyond the 20 yards. When we were shooting at 20 yards, no problem, roughly half-inch group. A little over, not bad, respectable. Of course, I'd like to see much better than that. But at 40 yards, it would just spread out. As you guys saw, first shot hits that shotgun shell, and then the second shot randomly over our egg or little pipe, what have you, and then finally it would come back. And I aimed at the same spot in every one of those targets. So those random moves of the pellet, that's just what happens. It just spreads out at that distance. So whatever we saw at 20 yards, it just got worse when we doubled the distance. So I'm thinking maybe issues with the barrel because the standard deviation seemed to be really good on this. So not quite sure. I might tear this apart, see if I can improve it. And when I have time, just haven't had much time. But let's talk about the positives. Reason I bought this gun in the first place, I thought the stock was so cool looking. It really was. And this is, honestly, this stock is rock hard. It is solid. You're talking, this is weapon grades polymer. It really is. It's a solid stock. And I love how this thing fits in the hand. It fits great in the hand. So that is really cool. I also like the fact that it already came with side-mounted Picatinny rails. That was another total bonus point. I also like the fact it's got an ambidextrous safety in the back. You just, when you cock it, you just push this with your thumb. So whether you're a right-hander or left-hander, works great. So I do like the safety on that. That's great. But again, I'll be honest with you, I was really disappointed at the 40-yard plinking. Just the way that we just couldn't get any consistency. We'd hit a target and then move on from there. So, yeah, anyway, we'll get into that. I do like the fact this does have a suppressor in it because it does make it really backyard friendly because it is nice and quiet. And 40-pound cocking effort, not too bad, but you know, we got decent velocity out of this. We did. We got good velocity. We just got to figure out that accuracy. And I'm going to come back and tell you, I think it's probably the barrels. I mean, what do you expect? This is about a $250 gun, and for that, I would expect a little bit more. So how would I rate this gun overall? Honestly, the trigger, that nails it at half a star, subtract a half a star there, and the accuracy is a full star. So 3.5 stars tops on this one, 3.5 stars. And what would be my final words on this? For this price point, it's $250. there are many options out there, so I would explore them. Okay, explore your options if you're going to spend 250 bucks. Anyway, with that, I hope you liked this review. Once again, don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. Until next time, I hope you and your families are doing well and you're getting plenty of shooting in. So take care and God bless.